You don't have to look strong to be strong. Most strengths don't show up in muscles. It shows up in morning routines done in pain, in tears wiped quietly, in hopes held tightly when everything hurts. You may not say it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. This episode is for everyone whose courage is hidden, whose strength is unseen. And though it is unseen, it is unstoppable. So welcome to InspireAbility. I am Ruby. And if you've ever felt like the world only praises what it can see, I made this video for you. See, no one hands out medals for getting out of bed when you're in pain, or for showing up when your soul is exhausted. But that doesn't mean you're not a champion. This week, we'll continue with rediscovering our strengths, focusing on the quiet power behind acceptance. And what is today's quote? It goes thus: you don't have to look strong to be strong. Most strength is invincible. I'll repeat it. You don't have to look strong to be strong. Most strength is actually invincible. So let's unpack the strengths they didn't see. And let us look at what happens with those strengths that people never knew you had, that you probably did not know you have yourself. That strength that nobody saw, that strength I did not know I have, but it was the strength that saved me through the most difficult times of my life. Go with me through this journey. We'll begin with behind the smile. Oh, there were comments, a lot of them. You're so strong, Ruby. I don't know how you do it. People meant it as a compliment. Oh, you turned up today. Well done. Good for you. Comments like that. I heard them all the time. But sometimes it felt like a burden. Yes, they had good intentions. They were trying to compliment me. They were trying to make me feel better about myself. But they did not know the burden that they were heaping and piling on me at the same time. After the accident, I knew people needed me to be okay. My children, my team, my community, my friends. I knew they needed me to be okay, and they needed to know that I was okay. So I smiled. I said I was fine. And that mask became so heavy. I thought I needed to present in this way for them to be okay, for them to be happy. But I would sit in the bathroom, holding onto the sink, just trying to breathe. I let the mask fall for a moment because no one was there. No one saw that version of me. No one saw the person sobbing in the quiet of the day when no one was there to see or witness that. The one that wondered if I could do this. Those moments of self-doubt, of worries, of uncertainty and fear for the future. But here's the truth. I kept going. Not because I had to prove anything, because I soon realized that I did not have to prove anything to anybody, not even to myself. But I kept going because at that time I had to make a choice, and the choice I chose to make was to leave. I chose to leave, not on anybody's terms, but on the terms that was suitable and okay for me. That strength was what they didn't see. It was there. It was my strength to discover, and it was my strength to use to take each day at a time. Let's talk about the weight you can't see. One morning, I sat on the edge of my bed for nearly an hour. And I say one morning, but this is a constant thing. I just sit down trying to breathe, trying to drum up the strength, that find a way to step away from what my body was saying. The effort to exit in my body that the day felt unbearable. Chronic pain, fear, anxiety, grief. But you know what the world saw. Most times, they saw me when I'd overcome those moments, those morning struggles, those challenges. They saw a woman dressed nicely, smiling, strong, eloquent. They saw a virtue of power and ability. They did not see the me that was screaming on the inside, weeping on the inside, because every step I took, every hand I raised, every time I opened my mouth or sat upright, it was in excruciating pain and agony. They didn't see any of this. They just saw the woman that was put together, calm, cool, and collected. People don't often see what it takes to prepare for hospital appointments when you're triggered by medical trauma. They don't see how climbing stairs can feel like Everest when your energy is depleted by 10 a.m. I speak this not just for myself, for people out there. They don't see the struggle you go through making yourself a cup of tea. They don't see the struggles, the challenges of trying to stay awake long enough when you've been knocked down by fatigue. But you know what? We still do it. That quiet strength is not just survival, it's spiritual, it's ancestral, it's unbreakable. We can't seem to be able to explain it, but we just find it in ourselves to keep going. It might take us longer to make that cup of tea, but that's okay. We still find the strength to do it today. I will try to find the strength to do it the next day and the day after that. So how did I go about claiming my quiet power? The moment everything changed for me was not when I started working again, because I've not been able to do that. Or got my strength back in the way I imagined, because I've not been able to do that either. But it was when I realized I didn't need to prove anything anymore. Yes, I struggled with that initially. I put on the masks, put on the facade. I tried to live to prove a point. I needed to prove to myself that I still had it in me, that the old me was still in there somewhere. I needed to prove to people that yes, I might be disabled, but I still am me. But it got to that point when I realized, hey, I don't need to prove anything, not anymore. My story isn't weaker because it includes pain. No, it's actually stronger because I chose to be honest about it. I stopped apologizing for needing help. I began celebrating rest as acceptance. I let go of the shame around my mobility aid, my wheelchair. Oh, I suffered a lot of shame initially, especially given my ethnic background. It was difficult. People did not understand that. And given my faith as well, they were quite challenging times for me. But I needed to accept that no, there's no shame in needing mobility aids. There's no shame in needing a wheelchair. There's no shame in needing support. This was when I began to live again. I showed my children that vulnerability is strength in its rawest form. Now, I walk into a room, and yes, I said walk. Into a room, I do walk. It might be in a chair, in a wheelchair, in an electric wheelchair, but it's fine. And you might walk into your own room using crutches or using walking stick. That's okay as well. But we walk into those rooms with a sense of presence that no title ever gave us. That's the strength they didn't see. But I see it now, and I honor it. We appear, we make a presence in any form that we do. Maybe in excruciating pain, grinding our teeth, but we still walk in those rooms. We still find the strength to do that. And this should be celebrated. This should be honored. And what do you do when support feels like surrender? There was a season, especially early on, when accepting help felt like failure. Oh, I avoided help. It took a long time to succumb to that bed. I'd always been the helper, not the helped. I've always been the go-getter, the solution finder, the one that helped everybody, that supported everybody. The man who packed the lunch, who led meetings, who remembered birthdays, who would organize events, organize birthdays. Oh, I was always everything to all men, sorting everyone out and sorting the whole world out. That was me. So you can imagine the state I would have been when I was now the one that needed pain. But after the accident, even the simplest things, like opening a jar, tying my shoes, even putting on my shoes, or driving to appointments required help. Every little thing. It was just as if I couldn't do anything for myself anymore. I hated it. I was frustrated. I was in pain. I did not want anybody to help me. I was too independent to need anybody. How can I come from being super independent to be completely dependent? I couldn't get out of my bed without help. I couldn't get out of my chair without help. I couldn't put on my clothes without help. I couldn't even feed myself without help. I couldn't get a cup of tea, no drink, nothing without help. I couldn't get to my kitchen without help. How do you transition from being completely independent to being completely dependent? It is a state that is difficult to explain. Oh, I got frustrated. I would turn down offers of help. Offers of support felt as if they were ridiculing me. I would smile very tightly and say, I've got it, thank you. I'll sort it out later. That often meant going without food, going without drink for hours. That often meant needing the bathroom or staying without going to the bathroom for hours because I struggled to accept help. I trained my body not to eat, not to use the bathroom, not to drink for hours because I just could not think of calling people for help. Even when they offered to just accept it, every time was difficult. In my mind, needing help meant I was weak. It took a breaking point. After several falls, attempting to get up myself, because I felt you can do this. I would often be on the floor, too exhausted, can't move, can't get myself up. Then I finally had to accept. And I finally had to tell myself, you can't do this alone anymore. If you're going to survive, if you're going to move forward, you need people to help you. That realization, that acceptance, didn't make me less. It made me more human, more connected. It made me realize support isn't surrender. Despite what our mind tells us when we're in that situation. No, it's not surrender. It's actually sacred. It's actually a different form of strength. It's the hands of grace holding you up when yours are too tired to lift. And often we need that in life. When we're too weak, too tired, too exhausted to do anything, we need others to rise up and lift our hands up and help us through that stage. For some, it might be that they need the help for just 1 week, for 1 day, for 1 year. But for some of us, it might mean that we need it for longer years. But it's still strength in a different way, accepting support. So how do we redefine what strength, what being strong means? I used to think strength looks like pushing through. Oh yes, I was that person that pushed through all storms, pushed through all mountains, climbed through, pushed through, get through, go-getter, the driver at the wheels, the pilot of the plane, just keep going. Never cry, never surrender, no retreat, no surrender, keep going. Being the rock. But over time, I've come to redefine it. What strength looks for me now is very different from what it used to look like. Now it looks like saying no when my body needs rest. I have learned that is strength. To be able to say no, I can't do that now. Strength for me now looks like telling my truth, even when it makes people uncomfortable. Advocating for accessibility without shame. Laughing again after sessions of deep grief. Rocking a room, a dinner room, all dressed up and in my beautiful electric wheelchair. Going to those big conferences of executives in my wheelchair. That is what strength looks like. Getting on the stage and proudly having these conversations. That's what strength looks like. Strength isn't about how much you carry. It's about how honestly you carry it. When my children saw me ask for help and still show up in the world, they didn't see weakness. They saw a woman who doesn't hide from the world anymore. Oh, I eat. I was housebound. For over a year, I couldn't fathom it. How would I go to anywhere in a wheelchair? But the day I made the decision to move, I felt strength in being on that wheelchair because I could still navigate my world. Yes, we get treated differently and most times not very nicely. But I was still showing up in the world despite it being on a wheelchair. I still had a voice, I still had a life, and I still needed to live. And this is what I call legacy. This is the legacy I want to leave. This is what I want my children to keep seeing. The strength that nobody else sees. A mom that turns up, even if it means turning up in a wheelchair. Attending their parents' meeting, their school events. Yes, everybody jumping up and down. But me, positioning myself in my wheelchair and being part of my children's life is something I have come to treasure, because I'm still living. We are still living. We're still appearing and presenting. It's just very differently. Our strength might be different from other people's strength in the room, but we still have strength anyway, and we're strong. You need to remember, you get to define your strength. Do not leave it to anybody to define it for you. It is your strength. You define it. Define it how best it works for you. How best it makes you live your life on a day-to-day basis. And take joy in that strength that you have. The strength they didn't see. Maybe it's the same strength you're learning to honor now. Whether you're still behind the smile, carrying the invisible weight, learning to ask for help, or just defining what strength means to you. I see you. I've been down that route, and I'm still walking through this route. I am on the path. Some of you are behind me. Some of you are with me along the way, while some of you have gone ahead of me. But I see you all. And this space is for you. It's for me. Let's come together. Pull on our strengths. And let's live our unique lives as we can live them. Drop your comments below. The strength they didn't see was. Share what your strengths are. Share your past experiences. I can go on and on about mine. Share some of yours. You'll be surprised the person you're helping with sharing your story. I also want you to not hesitate to share this video with someone who deserves to hear that their story matters, irrespective of how messy it might sound. Irrespective of how much struggle they've been, their story counts. Their story matters. Even when it's not loud, when it's not easy, the messier the better. It is still relevant in the grand scheme of things, and it can help somebody else. I want you to not forget to like, subscribe, and stay with me, because we are building something sacred here. We're building something unique. We're building something exceptional. No matter the challenge, remember, you can live fully. You can thrive with support and keep moving forward with hope. This is InspireAbility. Let's rise together. Uniquely us. You are uniquely used. I am uniquely me. We're uniquely living our lives. But let us come together as we share this uniqueness and help one another turn up again and again. The strength they didn't see. It's beautiful to watch. They didn't know we'll turn up again. We did. Because we have that strength that they did not see. They did not understand. Thank you for joining me again. And I'll see you next time. It's Ruby. Take care. Bye for now.